That's the key, I think, with online leads.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI, or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
What are your preferred methods of lead generating and working with clients?
Yeah, good question. So, I have the same mindset. Even if I don't have any leads or any activity, then I'm the kind of person I would literally go door to door, and I would make up, even if I didn't have money, I would figure out a way to get some business cards or print out something that said, hey, looking to help you sell your house, or I can give you your value. So I would do that. But as far as how I generate leads, I do it. I've never got one source. I think that's dangerous. I don't think you should put all your eggs in one basket, but I still get leads from house values. Not a lot of people use it, but I definitely have had an ROI on that. Pretty good. I figured out a couple other, larger websites that advertise to get leads from. I use something called Brivity that helps me enhance my website and get my more exposure. I use Google. I get a lot of reviews on Google. I know I need to get Google certified, so I need to work on that. But I know a lot of my people I work with use that, but I need to do that too. And then I still do open houses. So if things are kind of lagging or slow and I don't have a lot of people in the pipeline, I will definitely go out and do open houses. Right now, my business is about half listings and half buyers. And so, when I'm too busy, there's a lot of people in my office that'll do my open houses. But when when it's slowing, then I'll jump on and do my own open houses and interface and get leads. I send out postcards. So when I have a house that sells in a neighborhood, I'll take a picture of the house, market it, and say, hey, this house just sold for, 10,000 over, asking, will yours be next, kind of thing. I'm big on providing market analysis for people. And so I do some ads around that too, just giving them a CMA. So those are how I generate leads.
That's a lot of different ways. So you're one of the big ones though, which we love to discuss because our favorite ways, you're obviously sounds like you're pretty heavy on the online lead generation side of things, getting leads online, off the internet. Now it's interesting that, you got 77 deals last year and you're saying a bunch of them, I'm assuming, came from online leads. Out of interest, do you know how many roughly, give or take, came from online?
I'd say a third of them did. Also, I forgot to say, I'm from the same little town. It's 200,000, but I use my sphere. I market to my sphere of influence too. So a lot of people will
referral business.
So SOI is a third. I'd say online leads a third. And the rest is just kind of I definitely get calls off my postcards. Every time I do one, I get one call, which is awesome. And then I definitely get agent referrals. So I have agents from, my region, Seattle, Spokane, Portland, that will send me their leads. So that's the other third. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. So you're saying, so give or take, like not quite 30 deals last year came from just online leads, not quite 30 came from your sphere, and 30 came from other stuff. Just a bit to this, a bit to that, which is great. And the reason, we harp on about online lead generation is like, it's just such a sustainable source. It can but one of my next question actually is to do with the online leads is, how have you found working them versus other lead sources that you might use? So let's say versus a postcard lead, do you find they have to be worked differently, or is it just the same? Because there is a lot of misinformation. Let's be kind. Let's call it misinformation around online lead generation. Like, we're big proponents of it. That's how we've done so well so quickly. And it's what we teach and coach people on too. And we want to know what you think of it, so our listeners can know too.
I feel like there's I think a secret to getting in to working with online leads is meeting with them ASAP. So getting in front of them eyeball to eyeball, because they don't know who you are from Adam. So getting in front of them and interfacing and rubbing shoulders immediately. That's the key, I think, with online leads. What have you guys found?
Well, it's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that. So face-to-face always massively increases conversion rate of anyone, though. It's not even just an online lead thing.
No.
There's a few things that I think people do wrong. One, they don't do enough filtering. So you'll get to a certain point in your business where you can generate tons and tons of leads and you can work them all, and you'll be able to get deals out of a lot over a certain period of time, or a good amount. But then at a certain level, you can do a lot more filtering if you know how to do it, or you employ an agency or someone to do it. And therefore, and you can build in like ISAs and setters into your business. So it protects your time. And then if you've got the money to pump into it, so you are dealing with a lot more qualified people who are ready to go, like on your doorstep, so to speak. And then it's just about those meetings. But meeting in person is one of the best things you can do. You totally nailed it. It's like, get on the phone with them, make sure they're, a real person who is, serious, and, depends. You might have thresholds. They've got to be willing to move within the next 6 months for me to meet them. If they're 12 months out, I'm not going to meet them, and everyone has different thresholds on that. But it's get in front of them, like you said, and just be personable. Like, they want to get to know you. Like, listen, we say this all the time. These are like the biggest transactions of their life. And people are treating it like they're going to buy a candy bar. It's like, what are you doing?
It's true.
It's totally true. And it's lost on so many realtors because it's just what they sell. They're not selling the vacuum cleaner, Hoover things at the doors. It's like, it's none of that shit. Like, these are like 200, 300, 500, whatever it is, your price point. Homes.
That's big price.
You're right. And it's just like, I think there is a lack of appreciation of the severity of the transaction that's being done. And I think, it's one of the ways you can really build a core solid relationship with those leads quickly is just meet them. And like, you do an online lead generation, they should be local to you. You want to work with, just meet them. So we do qualification. We've got an ISA, we've got our own ISA team. And then we've also, when we know they're good to go, so to speak, within our time frame, get them on the phone, get a meeting set up, start chatting with them, go from there. You get a massive different conversion rate. Massive difference.
The other thing that we need to also highlight is the perception, right? That how much money we're spending on leads versus how much you're getting out. A lot of agents, I think, when they look at it, I'll be curious to see what your take on this, Liberty, as well, is, all right, you just spent $500 on mailers. You're saying you're averaging at least one deal. So it's like, okay, cool. That's one deal that you're actually paying. So your cost per acquisition is whatever your mailer batch really was to how much commission that you're making, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, I've done all this stuff. I've spent all this money on Facebook, on Google, on YouTube, on mailers, on whatever else is out there. Yeah. It's like, okay, how much money have you made? Oh, I've made like $10,000 and I spent $500. I'm like, and what's the ROI on that? Like, show me what else gets you that type of ROI.
Yeah.
And once you put things in a perspective, right? So when you mailers is not a topic that we're very well versed on, but like when you do a mailers, what is like your average cost that it costs you? How many pieces are going out? What does the frequency look like, to put things into perspective for anybody who's listening, for you to get one, you said listing, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's a similar. So I farm neighborhoods. So I go basically draw a circle around the house that I just put into contract or just listed. And then it kind of depends. Sometimes there's 200, 250, 500, but it's, so the cost range is anywhere between like 250 and 500. And I'm doing them about once a month or once every 3 weeks. And I'm seeing, like I said, every time I send one out, I'm getting a response and a listing. And then when I do that in conjunction, I also do a little personal handwritten note to also a farming area. And it's handwritten inside like a printed one, but on the outside, it's my assistant. I just have like a really part-time assistant. She's not super techie, but she does handwritten notes. I've researched into the handwritten.com and all that. And I think I think that there's so many of them now that you could tell that they're fake. So she actually writes it. So they're opening it, a personal, little letter from me. And it says, my name's Liberty. I'm a real estate agent. If you are interested looking to sell your home, I likely have a buyer. And so then that's been extremely successful as well. I think some people call them golden notes, but that's what I use. And I've been using that along with the postcards for like the last year. And I have, every time I send them out, I get someone calling me, asking me to sell their house.
So let's break down the numbers. What's your average price point?
Average price point for me is right around 400,000.
Okay.
In our town, it's 350.
Okay, so let's be a little bit pessimistic and say 350. So on 350, 3%, we're talking about 10,500 as far as the commission goes. I got my little calculator. Yeah. You're saying it costs you, I'll take the high end. You're saying $500 to send out a set of postcards in that radius to farm, correct?
Yes.
That's a 21x ROI.
Yes. It's been good.
Listening. If you
maybe they're going, yeah, I'm probably going to do more of that actually now thinking it.
Yeah, but this is realistic scenario, right? This is we're going through your numbers, and it's like crazy because anybody who's listening, they're like, oh, I don't have $500. It's like, yes, you do. You have this little thing in your wallet, this little plastic card thingy. Swipe it. Don't be afraid to invest in your business, because even if you got a 2x ROI or a 3x ROI, first of all, you're still in the green. Yes, you're going to have to put in some work. But once you get so effective and efficient, like Liberty, you can get up to 21x plus on the ROI. That's when things get really exciting, because now you're putting the perspective and, the perception of what is that you're doing. Like, what is your highest value per dollar? Let's say we add in the quote unquote salary of your part-time assistant, another $500 on top of it. That is still a 10x ROI, 10.5x ROI.
I agree. Yep. Yeah. She only works, I have a full-time VATC, transaction coordinator, but she works only 10 hours a week, but that's the kind of stuff she does. And it actually pays off. And I pay her, I actually pay her too much, probably $25 an hour, but she runs around town for me and does lots of little stuff. So
yeah, but that's money well spent, right? Because now if your hourly rate, like we can go down that path as well. It's like if your hourly rate is anywhere higher above 25, which it is, that is time well spent, because then you can reallocate that time to closing more deals, being in front of more clients. Maybe looking for more properties. I don't know. Maybe taking half a day off.
Exactly.
Half a day off, right?
That's true. The thing, isn't it? It's the hobbies as well. This is what people forget. It's like, okay, we've leveraged time. What do you want to do? Sell more homes. It's like some people, a lot of people who've been on this show as well, top producers, go, no, I take half a day off. I take Wednesdays off now. Like, I don't earn more money. I now just do the same volume in less time. That's now what I've chosen to do. Right. And that's way I've chosen to leverage myself. Like, I'm doing 100 mil a year. It's like, but I do it on 3 days a week.
Wow.
We're
like, okay.
We're like, wow, that sounds good.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, we had one guy on, and is it every 2 or 3 weeks basically has a week off every 3 weeks or something.
Every 3 weeks.
Yeah. And that's the way he's built his business. And it's like, he's like, I've done very simple volume now. But every time I re-leverage myself, I don't try and get more deals. I try and get more time because, he's got children, vacation. So it's a totally different mindset. But and by the way, if you're interested in gaining access to our course and coaching programs, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.